All right, so I'm going to start this review with a little bit of a disclaimer, to say the least. I don't want to make my channel about like hating on things, hating on movies, hating on shows, hating on things that I watch and don't enjoy. This is not what I like to do. This is not how I'm going to grow myself. I am going to. I watched the pilot of Resident Evil, the latest one, the 2022 show that's on Netflix, and I didn't enjoy it. Okay, I'm not gonna. Am I gonna spoil it? Am I gonna spoil it? Just because it's so new, I probably shouldn't. Um, okay. I won't spoil the episode. I might mention some things. Well, everything is a spoiler when I'm going to talk about it. So, if you want to hear nothing, go check it out for yourself. I watched the pilot. I didn't enjoy it whatsoever. And the reason why I say this disclaimer is because, like, I'm not somebody to bash on things, but Resident Evil. When I was like 10, it was like my religion. The video games. The the like it was so incredibly passionate to me that I like a copy of Resident Evil 3 I took to my buddy's house. True story. I took to my buddy's house to play the video game with him. And he was like, "I love this. I want to borrow it." And then his mom came down and my like we were kids. And my dad came to pick me up. He was like, "Can I borrow the game?" And then his mom was like, "Oh, can you borrow the game?" And then my parents were like, "Sure, of course, of course. You know, bring it back 2 days later. We trust you, whatever." I was so they made the decision for me that I was like, you know what? I want to rent this fucking game because I don't want to let him borrow the game. God bless him. God bless him. It was like I mean, we were kids. It was like it was like my parents just like gave away my prized possession for like 48 hours. I was like, I'm gonna go 48 hours without this. It was like 48 months. That's what it felt like anyway when I was that age. But hey, nonetheless, this is like years ago. But Resident Evil is such it's nostalgic beyond belief to me. It introduced me to survival horror, and it kind of grew me as a horror fan. And I have so much heart and soul for Resident Evil 3 was the one that really got me. Silent Hill 2 was another one that blew me away. And I just fell in love with survival horror and horror in general, blah blah blah, yada yada yada. So I was introduced to it Resident Evil 3. I was too young for the first Resident Evil. I kind of got into Resident Evil 2, but Resident Evil 3 was the big one, and Silent Hill, of course. So therefore, Resident Evil has a big place in my heart. To the they announced the first Resident Evil film in 2002, and I'm like, I'm gonna sneak into a theater. I'm watching and I didn't get to, unfortunately. But like I was 11. Yes. Was I? I was 12, I think. 13. Yeah, 89, 2002, 13. And like my parents were very strict on what I watched, and I had to kind of like sneak films at that age when I wanted to watch something that I really wanted to watch. And I was so excited for Resident Evil by Paul W.S. Anderson. And I watched it and I'm like, it's good, but who's Alice? Who is Alice? Who where's Jill? Where's Chris? Where's Carlos? Like who's this chick? I mean, the movie's great. Like you got the liquors, you got the zombies. The zombies are fantastic. But who's this chick running around who calls herself Alice? And there's a mansion, but it's not the mansion from the video game. And you have all these characters who were never in the game. And then they released Resident Evil 2 and they brought Chris, or was it, I think they brought they brought Jill and they brought Carlos. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure if they brought Chris in the second film. Um, Regardless, it's a guilty pleasure. And then they made this newer film based on the original two games, and it was ass. It was horrible, in my opinion. Hey, if you're a fan, they brought the original characters, they played it out, and they still fucked it up, and then they make this. Is it a reboot or is it a sequel? Like I don't understand what it is. It brings back a character from the original games who aesthetically is not the same, which is fine. You can listen. A lot of people are going to take this the wrong way, and I don't want anybody watching this video to take this the wrong way. You can race swap, you can gender swap, you can do anything. You can change anybody into somebody else if it's your vision. Like if you want to remake or reboot or reimagine something from the 70s and there was a male and you want to make them a female now, if they were white, you want to make them black, if you want to make them Hispanic, if you want to make them Asian, knock yourself out, okay? There's nothing wrong with that. Actually, it could even be beneficial. Sometimes a character will actually be better as a different gender, different race, different culture, whatever it may be. But it depends how much you're rebooting the subject matter. Like if you're making it a sequel, it doesn't make any sense because there's a character in Resident Evil, Albert Wesker. He injects himself with a bunch of serums and he becomes basically superhuman, so he can like teleport and shit. But you have to like reboot the series then, because what do you like? Are we starting? Like, is this a continuation of what happened in the '90s, or are you saying that Raccoon City is now like the virus, the zombie apocalypse happened in 2022 or 2021, whatever the timeline is, and is going on to 2036 or whatever. Because they call it even the new Raccoon City. So are we suggesting there's an old Raccoon City? Is the old Raccoon City 2022 and the new Raccoon City is 2036 or whatever they say? In that case, no problem. But if you're still suggesting that whatever happened in the 90s happens still, then your change of that character has to continue. Really, really big problem for me. I am having none of Jade Wesker. None. Okay? I cannot stand her attitude and her character, and it didn't sell me in the pilot to the point where I'm not even giving it a chance. Billy Wesker was also annoying, more redeemable, and she was killed off at the end of the pilot. So I have to deal with Jade Wesker now. Or I would have to. I don't. Like, she's such a bitch. She's not enjoyable. Billy was, like, see, Billy was introduced. Okay, this chick. Okay. She was introduced listening to Billie Eilish. She dresses like Billie Eilish. She has the same hairstyle as Billie Eilish. She was listening to Billie Eilish on her headphones. and her name is Billy. Could you be more subtle? Like, did the writer or director love Billie Eilish? Like like it, and you know, and then she's fine. She's not great. And then you have Jade, who I every like there's I like she's portrayed differently because she's a 16 or 17-year-old girl in 2022, and then she's 14 years older in 2036. The 2036 version, um well, she was better, yes, but I her younger self was so unbelievably cringy that I can't even. I can't even. There's a scene where she comes home from school, and her father, Wesker, Albert Wesker, yeah, is on like a business call on his tablet. He's got this tablet on his table. She knocks the fucking thing over. She says "fuck you" to her dad. She knocks the thing. He's live. He's live on a business call for his work. She knocks the fucking thing over. Says "fuck you." Storms upstairs to go take care of her sister. He follows her. He follows her up the stairs, and she's like, "Just go back to work." That calls for discipline. That is not okay. I'm like, that bitch needs to be grounded so fast and taken all of her technology away from her so fucking fast. You don't hit the chick. You don't have to smack her across the face or anything. But that you need to say you do not speak to your father that way, and you literally like, man, like if I was 14 and tablets existed in the or 2000 early 2000s, whatever the fuck, and I came home from school and I knocked my dad's tablet out of his hands and I said "fuck you, dad," I would be smacked across the room three times harder than that damn tablet would have been. And that's my generation. His generation, I think he would probably be beaten to death. But anyways, it's just the thing is, I hate the characters. I hate the structure of the whole idea of the story. There's this giant centipede, so they're going like Tremors style, and there's nothing wrong with Tremors. The Tremors is a great film, but it just breaks away from Resident Evil. And this is what the Resident Evil films keep doing. They break, like, it's Resident Evil by name, and that's what pisses me off because I want to see a Resident Evil film like the fucking original video game, and this is why I keep ranting. So this is why this video is a rant. It's because why can't you just redesign the original game? It's so easy. Silent Hill did it. Silent Hill was the movie was great. It wasn't perfect. It was great. Silent Hill Revelations. You know what? The movie sucked, but you know what it kept? Its heart. Its heart remained. But there's no director that has yet designed a Resident Evil game based on like and that kept the the heart and soul of the original subject matter. So and for some reason it's hard to do, like, it's hard for directors or producers or whatever to reimagine a video game, which it's right there. Just remake the just take the game and put it into film like format. But anyways, Jesus, I'm gonna leave it at that. Subscribe to Morgan Film Fan if you like listening to my rants, apparently, or if you like my content. Check out the other videos on the channel. Subscribe if you're interested, and until next video, or until next rant, we'll see. Take care and cheers.